Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Taurus Rising May Astrology of 2024. We're going to be going over the transits of the Sun, the new moon and the full moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, which is going to be changing signs and ingressing into the sign of Gemini. And this is for a year, so it's a big deal when a planet ingresses into a different sign for another whole year. Where this lands in your chart, we're going to be talking about. And Pluto is going into a retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, and where this lands in your chart, we're going to be talking about as well. Let's talk about Mars first. And Mars is full force going direct for the whole month of May in the sign of Aries, which is its home sign, so it's very strong here. And for you as a Taurus rising, this is your 12th house. This is where you get brave to, take that first step to initiate cutting away from things from the past that have been holding you back for some time. It's where you can have the energy and drive to sift through the fog in regards to your spiritual connections with life, your philosophies about life. It's where you can have a lot of action behind the scenes, so you might be a little less visual, but kicking goals behind the scenes when Mars is in the 12th house. If you're ready to, basically take a break, this is a great time to do that. Mars will give you the energy and the drive to go, I need to take some time out for me. And especially if it comes to any surgeries or procedures of an aesthetic kind, this is a great time to get things done for yourself, Taurus rising. On the 3rd of May, Mars is sextiling Pluto in Aquarius, 12th and 10th house in a sextile. I can see a return of an employment opportunity, a large organization or someone of authority assisting you in regards to your career that may have not been present for some time. So this is like people coming back on board to help you in regards to how you're seen and known in the world and your public image. The Sun is transiting in Taurus, your first house, Taurus rising, opening up the month of May until the 20th of May. So the Sun in the first house is a lot of energy and drive that's concentrating on the physical body, your own psychology, how you're connecting with other people and how people are responding to you. So you may be more popular, or you may be seen as going through some pretty profound changes with that Sun giving you energy levels that may not have been present for some time. And you can be seen and very visual when the Sun is transiting in your first house and seen as someone that is getting the job done and changing things up for the self. The Sun on the 20th of May is going to be leaving your first house and ingressing into your second house of Gemini until June 20 of 2024. So the next 4 weeks, that Sun is going to be really giving you a lot of energy and vitality to inject the effort necessary to boost your assets, resources, and income, and also give you a lot of drive and optimism towards building something solid and secure for your future. So working hard on building financial success for yourself. The moons for the month of May, well, the 7th of May, you've got a new moon in the sign of Taurus, which is your first house. Venus is currently transiting in Taurus as well, your first house, and Venus is your ruling sign as a Taurus rising. So this is beneficial in regards to doing something quite pleasurable and beginning something quite new that's Venusian, which is all about beauty, aesthetics, creativity, relationships. So new beginnings that are quite profound for you, because it's going to change over time and build into something that feels organic to you, something that's pleasurable and gives you a sense of ease, harmony and flow. On the 23rd of May, there's a full moon in Sagittarius. And for you as a Taurus rising, this is your 8th house. And Jupiter's the ruler of this lunation. Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius. And Jupiter is currently transiting in Taurus, your 1st house. This is good for seeing an investment, a tax situation, financial situation coming to an end. So a return of finances, or at least the settlement opportunity, is here on the 23rd of May. So something's coming into full bloom and completing, so you can release yourself from an 8th house financial connection, be it with you or a significant partner. Venus, your ruling planet, has a lot of aspects this month of May. So we've got a lot of movement and activity in regards to our ruling planet that affects our 1st house, which is the self. So Venus is transiting in your sign and opening up the month of May on the 1st. She squares Pluto in Aquarius. So the 1st house and the 10th house of career, authority figures, how you're known publicly, is in a square aspect to you, the 1st house, the self. So you may be in contention with an authority figure or a career situation on this day. So it's just a jarring day that doesn't feel in line with you, or you may be seen as not present or not pulling your weight, or just like a snag on the 1st of May. On the 13th, you've got Venus sextiling Saturn in Pisces, so your 1st and 11th house in a sextile aspect. Venus and Saturn aspects are very mature, can be attached to doing things diligently, having the wisdom to know that patience is necessary. So when Venus sextiles Saturn in the sign of Pisces, your 1st house and 11th house, you can see a maturation between a friendship or a goal coming to fruition, a dream. Could also see you connecting with groups and organisations that are quite beneficial for you. So connecting with new people is a great time to do that on the 13th, excuse me. So if you're wanting to connect with different people, this is the day to do it. And you may be establishing some very firm long-term connections. On the 18th, we see Venus conjuncting Uranus and Taurus, your 1st house. So something quite unusual or peculiar might be changing in regards to your relationships, relationship to yourself, your physical appearance. You might be getting a haircut, something as simple as that. But it's a day where you're possibly known to go down one path and all of a sudden you're turning a hard right. So you might be willing to change direction and do something new. On the 23rd, Venus conjuncts Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, your 1st house. And in ancient astrology, Jupiter and Venus are known as the benefics, which are helpful wherever they land in your chart. So this is a helpful aspect because, quite frankly, Jupiter and Venus are all about connecting and unifying and being in flow, having fun, enjoying life. So you are about to have a fantastic day on the 23rd. You could be overindulging in the self, having large purchases, or you can see people really spoiling you on the 23rd of May. Enjoy that day. On the same day, well, we've got your ruling planet Venus ingressing into Gemini, your 2nd house, till June 17 of 2024. So Venus in Gemini is active, social, very flirtatious energy. It's like she has a lot of fun. She's very sassy in the sign of Gemini. And in your 2nd house, you might be being very creative and enjoying building on your assets and resources, or starting new side hustles, or changing up the way you earn finances when you've got Venus transiting in your 2nd house of Gemini. It's a fun transit, so enjoy that. I love Venus in Gemini as an astrologer. On the 25th, we see Venus in Gemini trining Pluto in Aquarius, so your 2nd, 10th house in a trine aspect now. At the beginning of the month, she was in a square. Now she's in a trine because she's moved into a different sign. This is where you can see financial situation come back online between you, an authority figure, or a workplace employment situation that wasn't available or offline. So this is like the agreement comes in now that benefits you and how you're seen and known publicly. Planet Mercury, this planet is connected to travel. It's our mental landscapes. It's how we communicate. It's our ideas and our concepts about life, and how we connect to other people through those concepts and ideas, and even our communication styles. Well, Mercury for you, Taurus rising, is transiting in Aries, your 12th house, and opening up the month of May until the 15th of May. So when Mercury is in your 12th house, there's a lot of mental energy that could feel draining, or you could feel like the communication data and analytics aren't present in Aries. You might want to start something or land something, but it's as if Mercury in that 12th house is giving you a bit of a problem regarding connecting and getting the information necessary. So it's a passing transit, but it may be jarring, and even travel could be stuck in transit here, like literally. Stuck in a place and not having a lot of movement with Mercury in your 12th house. Well, on the 15th, he's going to ingress into the sign of Taurus, your first house, until June the 3rd of 2024. So Mercury in the first house has you being very sharp mentally. You thinking on your feet. You're quick to action. You're making decisions. You're moving and shaking. Communication comes back online. The clarity is now available. You can make decisions, and communication is back on board for you. And even travel. So a lot of movement when you've got Mercury in your first house. So you could be seen and known as someone that's moving around a lot and got a lot of energy and connections with a lot of people, ideas, concepts, and even learning. On the 17th, Mercury in Taurus, your first house, is squaring Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So your first and 10th house, is in a square aspect. So Mercury squaring Pluto. This is like the battle. It's a battle to get the information or change something that's been ingrained in tradition in regards to organisations, institutions, people that you connect with publicly, employment, your career. So it's just a tricky day on the 17th. The 27th, we see Mercury in Taurus, your first house, sextiling Saturn in Pisces. So your first and 11th house is in a sextile. So you could be feverishly enjoying exchanges of dialogue with other people and groups and societies, planning things for the future in regards to a goal or a dream. You may also be fired up in regards to learning something new in a group environment as well. On the 31st of May, the end of the month, Mercury in Taurus, your first house, conjuncts Uranus in Taurus. So this day is the light bulb moment to make a change that isn't status quo. It's odd, it's peculiar, but you feel that you need to shake things up when it comes to your communication style, even where you want to travel, where you're moving around, and even your mental dexterity, your psychology, your mental health. You might be having a strange, peculiar day. So forewarned is forearmed. Remember self-care, Taurus rising. Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. Well, Saturn is in Pisces, your 11th house, in a direct motion. So Saturn's still working his magic in your 11th house. Neptune's direct in Pisces, your 11th house, doing his magic. And Uranus is direct in Taurus, your first house, doing his magic. So these planets are still continuing these transit. They're a longer term transit for you. Pluto in Aquarius is going retrograde on the 2nd of May. And this is your 10th house of career, public image, authority figures, institutions, people that affect you in regards to how you're seen and connecting on the world stage. So when you're having a retrograde in your 10th house, you could see a return of workplace opportunities or a slowdown with your career. Could also see necessary red tape or contracts or details regarding people of authority or higher institutions, governments that need your attention when you've got Pluto retrograding here in your 10th house until September the 1st. So maybe a slowdown in career, or there may be some changes with your career or what you're seen and known for publicly. Planet Jupiter, that benefic, is transiting your first house of Taurus, opening up the month of May. And Jupiter in the first would possibly have Taurus really developing and accumulating a knowledge and experience through international travel or different cultures, learning things about the physical body, changing up philosophies, learning new things, just expanding and feeling quite abundant and feeling quite jovial when Jupiter's transiting the first house. Well, on the 20th of May, Jupiter's making an ingress into the sign of Gemini. So a big change because it's a year's transit. And this is Mercury's sign. So Jupiter ingressing into the sign of Gemini, which is Mercury's place. And Jupiter is now utilizing Mercury's tools, which is all about information, data, analytics, short distance travel, connecting through communication styles and learning. So when Jupiter ingresses into your second house of finances, resources, possessions, investments, things of value, you could be really amped up and see a massive influx in your finances, an increase, a lot of abundance and a lot of opportunity to look at different perspectives and different connections that are beneficial to you. This transit lasts until the 25th of May 2025. It's a great opportunity to cement security and a sense of stability for yourself for the future. So enjoy this transit. Look at things differently. If you feel like you've done the tried and true or things haven't paid off in investments or your financials and resources, then look at other avenues because you've got an opportunity here when Jupiter ingresses into the sign of Gemini, your second house, for 1 year. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. Have a blessed and magical May, Taurus rising, and I will see you next time.